Roman Reigns reunites with Solo Sikoa, the best and worst of WWE Raw. The WWE introduces CM Punk's new tag team partner after Raw. Bron Breakker's partner sends him a message after his viral spear on Raw. A WWE champion injured before WrestleMania. Saraya aka Paige is critically sick. Rhea Ripley reacts to Stephanie McMahon wearing her makeup. Cena had a backstage meltdown. And Jimmy Uso has an unfortunate health update as he is hospitalized. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Raw. With just 2 Raw episodes left before WrestleMania 41, the clock's ticking to lock in the card. Thankfully, Raw GM Adam Pearce stepped up, nailing down 2 big matches for the show. He set up a triple threat for the Women's World Championship with Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, plus gave Rey Mysterio his shot at El Grande Americano after a wild 6-man tag mess between American Made and the LWO. This week's Raw had some killer moments and a few head-scratchers. Here's the rundown on what worked and what flopped. Number 1. Best. Lyra Valkyria and Bayley steal the show. If you're training at the WWE PC or on LFG, rewind that Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. These two brought their A-game, smooth moves, slick counters, and some nasty spills outside the ring. They'd studied each other from their last clash and switched things up. Lyra might not light up the mic, but her ring skills are top-notch, one of the best around. The ending kept Bayley strong, hinting at a heel twist, even though they'll team up on SmackDown and maybe at Mania too. Number 2. Worst. New Day's weak title shot. Set up New Day beat New Catch Republic. Tyler Bates' first match back from injury, and somehow that's enough to challenge the War Raiders for the World Tag Team titles. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods have history, sure, but they haven't touched tag gold in ages. They've got bad blood with Eric and Ivar from a Viking Rules match way back, but this week's action ended cheap. Woods got disqualified after eating a chair shot from his own weapon. It's a sloppy excuse for another rematch. Next week or post-WrestleMania, who knows? Number 3. Best and worst. Dirty Dom, the crowd's darling. Before Raw, Pearce locked in Bron Breakker defending his Intercontinental title against Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor at WrestleMania. Dom took on Penta this week and lost, but here's the weird part. The heel got cheers. It throws off the vibe. Judgment Day's supposed to be the bad guys. Penta's the fan favorite, and Breakker's the tough guy hero. The match was solid, and the crowd can cheer who they want, but it muddies the story. Finn stirring trouble by jumping Breakker after only adds to a split that's overdue. Number 4. Best. Heyman's new debt. After Raw chaos, Paul Heyman shocked everyone by defying his tribal chief on SmackDown, then rolled into Raw with a rare off-night promo. Roman Reigns was a no-show again. Doesn't matter if he's SmackDown. Both Mania main events are everywhere. Seth Rollins lit into Heyman, laying out hard truths. Reigns bailed after losing at WrestleMania 40, leaving him to face the new bloodline alone. No rescue from Punk or Reigns when he got smashed through a table in his hometown. Rollins pushed Punk's buttons, stomping him out, then nearly did the same to Heyman. Now he's saying the Wiseman owes him a favor. Is this going somewhere big or just hot air? Number 5. Worst. Jey Uso's soft revenge on Gunther. Last week, Gunther left Jimmy Uso a bloody heap while Jey watched, tied up and useless. This week, Jey should have stormed the ring swinging steel, ready to brawl. Instead, he strolled through the crowd, no yeet gesture, and cut a promo. It was heavy, talking about breaking the news to his mom about Jimmy's hospital trip, but it felt off. Wrestling's rough. Guys get hurt. Jey blamed Gunther for dragging Jimmy in, but Jimmy jumped in himself. Charging in mad, then talking would have hit harder. He ended saying he's not scared of Gunther anymore. Does that mean the Yeet's been hiding his fear all along? Number 6. Best and worst. Triple threat finally happens. After weeks of dragging it out, Pearce booked Sky, Belair, and Ripley for the Women's World title at WrestleMania 41. He owned last week's chaos, but pinned it on the trio for not playing nice. Sky's been solid, eating disrespect from Belair and Ripley, and was cool with a triple threat ages ago. But here's the rub. Letting Ripley off easy stinks. She smacked Belair on purpose last week. Belair got caught in the crossfire too, sure, but Rhea's tantrum got rewarded. The crowd loves her, but it's like handing a brat a prize for whining. The WWE introduces CM Punk's new tag team partner after Raw. CM Punk's night on Raw was a roller coaster, and it didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. He tangled with Seth Rollins in a nasty brawl, taking a stomp that left him reeling, until Paul Heyman swooped in to save the day. But that was just the start. After the show went dark, Punk found himself in the ring with an unexpected ally, comedian Bert Kreischer. Punk's got his hands full prepping for WrestleMania 41, where he'll face Rollins and Roman Reigns in a blockbuster triple threat to close out Night 1. With Heyman in his corner, thanks to that favor cashed in on SmackDown. He's already got an edge heading into the big show. But what happened after Raw? That's where things got crazy. The trouble kicked off when Punk locked horns with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, the cocky bad guy duo. They were running their mouths, thinking they had him cornered. Then, out of nowhere, Burt Kreischer leaped over the barricade and stormed the ring. The crowd lost it as the comedian teamed up with Punk, slamming Waller and Theory to the mat with a pair of chokeslams. It was pure madness, and the fans ate up every second of it. WWE dropped the clip on Instagram, calling Kreischer Punk's newest tag team partner. Since Raw jumped to Netflix, big names from outside wrestling have been popping up left and right, rubbing shoulders with the roster. This time, Kreischer didn't just watch from the seats, he jumped in and made a mess of things, giving Punk a hand and the fans a night to remember. Bron Breakker's partner sends him a message after his viral spear on Raw. Bron Breakker's real-life partner and NXT star Izzy Dame couldn't resist poking fun at him after his latest Raw highlight. The Intercontinental Champion leveled Carlito with a savage spear this week, a move that's got everyone talking. Breakker's heading into WrestleMania 41 to defend his title in a fatal four-way against Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Penta, a match locked in after weeks of bad blood boiling over. On X/Twitter, Dame chimed in with a playful jab, saying that's how Breakker greets her every time she steps through the door, obviously kidding around. "This what he does to me every time I walk through the door, LMAO, wrote Dame. Down in NXT, Dame's making waves of her own as part of the culling. She started out with the D'Angelo family, even helping Tony D'Angelo keep his North American Championship against Ridge Holland. But after D'Angelo's big steel cage win over Holland, she flipped the script, ditching him to join Shawn Spears, Bruce Jensen, and Nico Vance. Meanwhile, Breakker's tearing it up on the main roster, and he'll be looking to keep that Intercontinental gold around his waist when he steps into the chaos of WrestleMania 41. A WWE champion injured before WrestleMania. A WWE champion's road to WrestleMania 41 just hit a brutal snag. On this week's Raw, the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, put their World Tag Team Championship on the line against the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. The New Day have been clawing their way back to the top, desperate to reclaim the glory they once had after ditching Big E despite his own injury setbacks. They've been loud about feeling cheated out of the titles they believe belong to them, and this match was their latest shot to prove it, but things spiraled out of control, and now Eric's hurt just weeks before the big show. The match itself was a war. The New Day pulled every trick to tip the scales, and it got ugly when Xavier Woods slid into the ring with a steel chair. He was ready to smash his way to victory, but Ivar turned it around, snatching the chair and blasting Woods instead. The ref caught the whole thing, disqualification. The War Raiders lost the match but kept their belts since titles don't change hands on a DQ. That should have been the end of it, but the New Day snapped. Furious over another missed chance, they unleashed a vicious beatdown on the champs. They zeroed in on Eric and Ivar's necks, both already patched up from past surgeries, and went to town. Eric took the worst of it, left crumpled and motionless on the mat as they hammered away. Security and WWE officials finally rushed out, breaking it up before it turned into a complete massacre, but the damage was done. Eric's hurt, and with WrestleMania 41 looming, the timing couldn't be worse for the tag champ. The New Day walked away empty-handed, but left a mark, literally, while the crowd watched in shock as medics checked on Eric. No word yet on how bad it is, but this could shake up the champ's plans big time. Saraya aka Paige critically sick. Saraya, the wrestling star once known as Paige in WWE, and a standout in AEW, just hit her fans with some rough news. The anti-diva had to back out of a planned appearance, leaving everyone worried. She's been killing it lately outside the ring, dropping her new book Hell in Boots, Clawing My Way Through 9 Lives, and keeping the door cracked open for a WWE comeback. But earlier today, she hopped on her Instagram stories to break the bad news. She's sick and can't make it to tomorrow's Pandora's box signing. She didn't leave her fans hanging though. The former WWE Divas champion promised she's already working on shifting the meet and greet to later this month. On the B4, the Bell podcast, Saraya got real about her wrestling dreams, tossing out the idea of teaming up with Rhea Ripley if she ever steps back into WWE. She's got a whole list of women she'd love to tangle with, but she's not sure there's space for her right now. "I feel like me and Rhea Ripley would make a really good tag team. I've said that. I would love to wrestle her too. I'd love to. There's so many women that I want to wrestle. I do, one day. Not anytime soon, obviously. There's no room for me," laughs, "but I would love to face Rhea," she said. At 32, Saraya's feeling the clock ticking on her wrestling days. With WrestleMania 41 creeping closer, everyone's wondering if Triple H might call her up for a surprise return. For now, though, she's down and out, and the wrestling world's holding its breath, hoping she bounces back fast. Posts on X are wishing her well, but there's no solid word yet on how serious this sickness is, just that it's enough to keep her grounded for now. Rhea Ripley reacts to Stephanie McMahon wearing her makeup. Rhea Ripley couldn't hide her grin when she saw Stephanie McMahon rocking her signature look on the latest Stephanie's Places. McMahon nailed the Nightmare's in-ring makeup style, and it's clear she put some real effort into it. Ripley's the next big name dropping by the show, and WWE's been hyping it hard all week across social media. In a fresh preview clip, Stephanie's seen sporting that familiar black and purple vibe Ripley's known for. Mommy caught the video during tonight's Raw and had to chime in, sharing a warm reaction that lit up the night. Ripley's got her hands full with WrestleMania 41 on the horizon. She's stepping into a triple threat showdown against Sky and Bianca Belair for the Women's World Championship. It still stings that Sky snatched the title from her in a jaw-dropping upset a few weeks back. Right before that, Belair punched her ticket to Mania by outlasting everyone in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The WWE Universe is hyped out of their minds to watch these three powerhouses tear it up at the show of shows. With Stephanie channeling her vibe, Ripley's clearly riding a wave of good vibes heading into the biggest fight of the year. John Cena had a backstage meltdown. A former WWE star just spilled the tea on John Cena losing it backstage at a live event. The Cenation leaders got his sights set on Cody Rhodes and the undisputed WWE Championship in WrestleMania 41's main event. Heath Slater, once a key player in the Nexus crew that shook up the main roster, opened up about a wild clash with Cena. Back in the day, Nexus had some epic battles with the face that runs the place, even strong-arming him into joining their ranks for a hot minute. In a chat with Kenny McIntosh for Inside the Ropes magazine, Slater spilled that Cena went ballistic after the babyfaces on the roster ambushed Nexus with pool noodles during a live event. The wrestling legend was so ticked off, he smashed a bar stool to bits. We get in the back and Cena is so mad, he picks up this red stool and overhand throws it on the ground and shatters it. And he's like, "Guys, what the F-K? You guys are coming in here while we're trying to build this group up, make them killers and everything, and you're fighting with pool noodles?" He went off on them trying to protect us, to where I just was like, Cena is invested a little bit, so that's kind of cool, said Slater. Cena's been on a tear lately. He won the Men's Elimination Chamber last month, earning his shot at Rhodes for WrestleMania 41, then stunned everyone by turning heel and teaming up with The Rock. The final boss had been pushing Rhodes to cave before the PLE, but the American Nightmare stood his ground. Meanwhile, Liv Morgan's throwing shade, claiming Cena's ripping off her revenge tour with his farewell tour as he winds down his in-ring career. She and Dominic Mysterio sat down with Sportskeeda Wrestling's Riju Dasgupta, where she didn't hold back. Of course they want to follow in our footsteps. Are you kidding me? They see our success and they want a taste of it. I want to be cool like them, but you can't. There's no mistake that I was on the Liv Morgan revenge tour, then John Cena comes back with the John Cena farewell tour. I did it first, and so they want to follow in our footsteps, she said. Last week on Raw, Rhodes fired back, dropping Cena with a crossroads. Now, all eyes are on WrestleMania 41. Can Cena snag that record-breaking 17th world title, or will his meltdown be the least of his worries? The countdown's on. Jimmy Uso's unfortunate health update as he is hospitalized. Jimmy Uso's in rough shape right now, laid up in a hospital bed after a vicious beatdown from Gunther. The latest word came straight from his brother Jey Uso on last night's Raw, and it's not looking good. Jey hit the ring with none of his usual yeet energy, no smiles, no hype, just a heavy vibe that showed how deep this mess has cut him. He squared up with Gunther, the world heavyweight champion, and let it rip. He's been shoved into a dark corner by the ring general's relentless aggression. This all stems from last week, when Gunther demolished Jimmy in front of Jey, who was stuck watching, powerless. Jey didn't hold back with the update. He said Jimmy's still in the hospital, unable to get out of bed, and needed 15 stitches to patch up the gashes and wounds Gunther carved into him. You could hear the pain in his voice. He nearly broke down talking about facing their mom and admitting he couldn't shield his twin from the onslaught. That attack left Jimmy a wreck, and it's clear he won't be stepping back into a WWE ring anytime soon. The WWE Universe is feeling this one hard, with Jey carrying the weight of it all as he heads toward his own showdown with Gunther at WrestleMania 41. For now, Jimmy's sidelined, and the family's reeling. Roman Reigns reunites with Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns is staring down a monster challenge at WrestleMania 41. He's locked in a triple threat brawl against two of his fiercest rivals, Seth Rollins and CM Punk. With the Night 1 main event ready to light up the ring, what's twisting the knife deeper? His right-hand man, Paul Heyman, is ditching him to back Punk, a move that left Reigns steaming on last week's SmackDown when Heyman laid it out plain. He's got no say in it. With the odds stacking up, Reigns could flip the script, turn heel again, and call call up a 6'2" powerhouse from his past, Solo Sikoa. The two could patch things up and tear through WrestleMania together. Reigns and Solo hit a rough patch over a year ago after Solo's slip-ups, but the tribal chief could let it go and bring him back into the fold. Solo's got little left to lose. Jacob Fatu's on the verge of jumping ship from Bloodline 2.0, and he's not even booked for Mania yet. His best play? Drop to one knee, own up to his mistakes, and pledge loyalty to Reigns again. He could tip the scales in that triple threat, helping Reigns come out on top. In exchange, Reigns could pull Solo out of his slump. Lately, the guy's been a punching bag, eating losses to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam 2024, then again with Reigns at Bad Blood, plus a War Games flop at Survivor Series, and a Tribal Combat beating on Raw earlier this year. Solo's crew is crumbling too. Fatu's loyalty's shaky, leaving him dangling. Teaming back up with Reigns could be his ticket to a fresh start in WWE, where he's been stuck in a rut. And Reigns? He's not swallowing Heyman's betrayal lightly. After 4 years of the Wiseman steering his epic heel run, turning him into the big dog everyone feared, this stings. With Solo by his side, Reigns could not only win at Mania, but also send a message, unloading on the 59-year-old Heyman right in the ring. It'd be a brutal payback for picking Punk, and the WWE Universe would lose it watching the tribal chief reclaim his throne with Solo as his muscle.